Two of the most popular investment vehicles in the world look nearly identical on the surface, yet the structural machinery operating beneath them creates vastly different outcomes for your liquidity, your taxes, and ultimately your net worth. Welcome to Basic Finance. To build an optimized portfolio, you must understand the mechanical distinctions between exchange-traded funds, commonly known as ETFs, and traditional mutual funds. The most immediate divergence between these two assets lies in exactly when and how your money actually enters the market. When you purchase a mutual fund, you are not buying a customized slice of the market at that specific moment. Rather, you are pooling your capital with other investors, and your purchase price is not determined until the trading day completely ends. This end-of-day price is called the net asset value, or NAV, meaning that regardless of what happens during market hours, every investor gets the same price calculated after the closing bell. In sharp contrast, an ETF trades exactly like a stock, allowing you to buy and sell shares instantly throughout the day as prices fluctuate second by second. This real-time trading capability grants ETF investors a level of intraday liquidity and price control that mutual fund investors simply do not possess. Because ETFs trade on an exchange, you can utilize advanced order types, such as limit orders to set a maximum buy price or stop-loss orders to protect against downside risk, which allows for precision entry and exit strategies. Mutual fund trades, conversely, are executed directly with the fund company, meaning your order is placed in a queue and settled blindly based on the future closing price, removing your ability to react to midday market volatility. While trading mechanics define short-term accessibility, the philosophy behind how the assets are picked drives the long-term cost difference. Mutual funds are historically associated with active management, where professional fund managers research, pick, and trade stocks in an attempt to outperform the market average, a service that commands higher expense ratios. ETFs generally track a specific market index, such as the S&P 500, utilizing a passive management strategy that requires less human intervention and consequently results in significantly lower fees for the investor. However, it is crucial to note that index mutual funds do exist, yet even then, the structural efficiency of ETFs often allows them to maintain a slight edge in total expense ratios. Beyond the fees you see, there is a hidden cost structure related to taxation that makes one of these vehicles mathematically superior for taxable brokerage accounts. Mutual funds often trigger capital gains taxes for all shareholders when the manager sells securities within the fund to meet redemption requests, meaning you could owe taxes even if you personally never sold a single share. ETFs bypass this issue through a unique mechanism called creation and redemption, which allows the fund to swap assets in kind rather than selling them for cash, thereby avoiding the triggering of capital gains events. This structural loophole makes ETFs inherently more tax efficient, ensuring that you typically only pay capital gains tax when you decide to sell your own shares. Finally, the accessibility of these funds differs regarding how much capital you need to start investing. Mutual funds often require a specific minimum initial investment, which can range from hundreds to thousands of dollars, creating a barrier to new investors with limited capital. ETFs can be purchased for the price of a single share, and with the rise of fractional share trading, the barrier to entry has been lowered to as little as $1. Understanding these variables, trading timing, management costs, tax implications, and entry barriers is the only way to ensure your investment vehicle aligns perfectly with your financial timeline. Thank you for watching Basic Finance. If you found this breakdown valuable, please subscribe for more essential financial education.